very good evening to one and all present here. Uh, Hearty welcome to the incoming batch of 2025 to the SSIM family. This is the 34th batch. Sahid, I am fine. I'll take these questions probably from the chat later on. So let us try to quickly deep dive into the purpose or the reason for which we are here today on the Saturday evening. Yes, so welcoming you all as the 34th batch of SSIM. It's been a long journey. We have started from 1992, more than 3 decades. That was the first batch, 92, 94, and since then we have moved on. And you are the 34th batch. So all the batches are equally close to us because we feel the pain when the batch passes out. Right. So that's when we understand the kind of bonding we have with each of these outgoing batches. Now, very quickly, I will try to cover up certain pointers, and probably I would like to keep this as an interactive session. I think you can raise your hand. The tech team will unmute you, and you'll be allowed to put across your pointers. You can put that to me on chat also. I'll try to pick it up from there and answer those questions. Only thing which I would request all of you to first let me interact with you and cover all the points. I feel mostly all those pointers will be covered. In case I miss out anything, or maybe somebody has joined a little late and the pointer was covered prior to that, you can always come back. We will talk about it. Right. Now, starting off is, I would first like to tell you all that the commencement dates for your batch has been finalized. July 5th and 6th are the reporting dates on campus, and July 7th is the inaugural program. Now what we do is, as a process, this League of Schools, there is a reporting and registration process, and post the next very day will be the inaugural. So here, July 5th and July 6th, these two are the reporting dates. Probably after this session and in the coming days, you will receive detailed information about all these things, so you need not worry about what all you need to bring, what is going to happen, how are things going to take place. Everything crystal clear would be shared with you. In that case, there will be certain documents which we need from you, right? Which could be your academic documents, which could be related to your work experiences, and which some to an extent is related to your joining formalities, right? So all these documents would be sent to you much earlier, almost close to a month or at least before 1.5 months, so that you can work on these documents, keep it ready. And July 5th and 6th, any one day, one particular student has to report. We will generally not give you slots, but we will try to understand from you through probably Google Forms or some sort of other mechanism in terms of on which day you would like to report, so that we have a clarity which student is reporting on which date. Whether you're staying in hostel or whether you're day scholar has nothing to do with this reporting formalities, right? Any one day a student will report, do the entire documentation process. You will enjoy that particular day. Trust me, you'll find almost 300-400 people on campus on respective these 2 days, people from different parts of the country, cities, their parents, their brothers, sisters, and other people who have accompanied them on campus for that process. Once that is done, then July 7th will be the inaugural process, which generally starts around 9:30 or 10 probably. That schedule will also be given to you, and on that day, every student, each and every student of the batch, they comes down, attends the inaugural function, wherein you try to understand what is SSIM, people of SSIM, culture of SSIM, everything. And then moving ahead from 8th onwards, your orientation program starts. Now here I'll spend 2 minutes. This orientation program is basically a foundation program, which is generally designed keeping in mind 3 weeks, 21 days kind of. It's basically has got 2 objectives, wherein in this kind of a batch, people come from diversified backgrounds. It could be educational background in terms of BCom, BTech, BSc, liberal arts, BSc nutrition and all, so on and so forth. People come from different states, different cultures, different backgrounds, right? So it's very important that at the initial stage, all these people are kind of brought to a common management platform from where the program starts. So that's the basic idea of orientation program. And then all of us who have studied our graduation in different parts, in different cities, different universities, different colleges, the format of teaching, the methodology or the program architecture was absolutely different to the kind of program architecture which will be adopted here, right? So it's very important that as a student we understand what is that which is waiting for me in terms of a subject, inside that subject the topics, what are the ways that it could be taught to me, right? So these are certain things I'll have or probably other professors will also have detailed discussions on in-depth of orientation programs. Probably now it is not the right time. Moving ahead after a couple of weeks we'll definitely have those. But overall this is the objective of the orientation program, wherein you are sensitized to the format or the architecture of the program. Just to give you a small understanding what I mean by this exactly is, so when we are doing our graduation program, we could be in our BCom, BTech, BSc programs. Now suppose today, say Saturday, you have a class from 10 to 11:15. You know that this is a financial accounting class, or this is an economic class, or this is a physics class or a maths class. However, exactly what is going to be taught in that you always are not aware of. So when the faculty or the teacher or the professor comes and starts teaching you, then you understand, oh, today we are going to be taught rest and motion, or we are going to be taught, say, ratio analysis, or say, for example, final accounts. But here, next Wednesday, if you have a consumer behavior class, or if you have a human resource management class, or you have a corporate finance class, you know it beforehand that what is going to happen in that particular class in the coming Wednesday. So if it is a case study which is going to be discussed, the case is circulated among all of you, you're supposed to go through it. It's expected if you read it, you may be able to understand 5-10% of it. And in the class, the entire 60 students, they start sharing their inputs on that particular problem or that particular area. Now, what happens is initially you will feel that the opinions which are coming are different kind of opinions. And the format we would make in a way where we will not allow you to restrict your raw thoughts coming out, right? So that you may feel initially that the point which I'm going to make, it may not be worth, it may look something weird, but we allow you to come up with your raw thought. The entire 60 people comes up with different thoughts, absolutely different. And then starts the deliberation process, wherein they try to understand which could be the options in this particular context or this circumstance. And the best part is, all of you see or realize or internalize that end of 1 hour 15 minutes, this entire 60 heterogeneous people have become homogeneous, and they are agreeing to one particular solution, plan A, from now onwards. If the plan A falls at certain point of time, then from where the plan B starts and the plan C starts. And each one of the student, at the initial stage, sometimes we have given an option. So I'll tell you what happens at home. Sometimes we give you an option, and then our parents or maybe people who are elder than us, they don't agree to it. And then we refrain ourselves from giving options, saying that last time to मैंने दिया था, आप लोग हमारे सुनते ही कहाँ हो. So why should I even tell? See, that is something which people overcomes here. Your solution or your point could be an excellent one, but given that context or the circumstances, it could not be accommodated. That doesn't mean that your point was not good. So students does not stop there from giving their next point, second or third one. These are overall, I just gave you one example of it. These are overall matrix of doing this orientation program to make you come out of your shackle free and start participating and contributing. What is the end objective of this? Why is this made in one line? We all have written our graduation exams or our 10th, 12th and all. That's how we have come to this level. We all, at the end of the year or the end of the semester, we have given an examination, which used to be of either 90 marks, 100 marks or 80, 85. The balance used to be practicals, vivas and those kind of things. Now, whether we have studied over the period of 1 year or over the 6 months, doesn't matter. We tried to accumulate all the notes and available information prior to 1 week or 1 month of the exam, depending on our capabilities and abilities. And we tried to study, and all of us used to get good marks. Now, here, your end term, mark my words, your end term exam is only going to happen on 40, 50, or 60 marks. If you are not able to participate or contribute right throughout the term, then you lose out on the balance marks of 40 or 50, because your end term is only of 50 or 60 marks. How much you study 1 week before, you still compete for only 60. If you get full marks also, it is still 60. A component like CP, class participation, almost carries 10%. So you are encouraged to participate and contribute in the class, and do not hesitate from asking questions. This format, every one of us immediately coming off a graduation background is not so comfortable with, right? That is the reason of conducting this orientation program, so that when we start the term classes, we start fresh and we start with people who have now overcome this journey and are ready with their new thoughts. I hope I could give you a basic understanding of the orientation program. Is that clear? Any one or two of you just put me in the chat. Yes, no, and I think I'll take it from there. Right, thank you, done. Now, next. I'll come to the academic, that's fine, I got it. So we'll come to the academic calendar, which starts from July 5th and 6th onwards with the reporting, and then 7th inaugural, and then the orientation program. Now, people may have told you that we also do a pre-orientation program. So this is the first session of the pre-orientation program, where I wanted to brief you on this, so that you are clear on what is going to happen from now on. So in this pre-orientation program, which is the next 2 months or 3 months from here on, we will not give you very high kind of pressure or torture you, but maybe on a Saturday evening or maybe on a Friday evening, just for an hour or two, we will do kind of certain knowledge sessions and certain master classes, right? And the third is kind of fireside chat with alumni. Again, just to give this particular orientation, wherein, say for example, Excel, we do a small workshop, not in a very advanced stage, a small Excel workshop for a 2-day, wherein you understand all these things and then your interest towards it starts. See, many of you might have Excel classes in your graduation, or you are from tech backgrounds and all, right? There could be people who are not from that backgrounds. They might not have used Excel to the fullest of the kind of requirements, but then here it is required. PPT is required. That's the bottom line, right? So after 6 months, making a PPT and presenting in the next day becomes a cakewalk for you, which you have not done in last 20 years. Probably once in a blue moon you have done that when your institute asked. Or there could be certain institute where this were regular practices, but here it's going to be a regular practice, right? So these are certain things where in certain kind of understanding we'll try to give you over this master classes and the knowledge sessions. And we'll try to connect you with a lot of alumni in this last 30 years who have passed out from the institute, starting from the first batch till the 29th batch or the 30th batch, wherein they'll try to 1 minute. Wherein they'll try to tell you how should you be during these 2 years, right? Because on a very realistic perspective, when you're being part of a business school, a school has certain expectations out of you, you have certain expectations out of the school. That has to be synced and go together. So from day one for this next 20 months, right, you should do on a reality check. Okay, this is this should be my takeaway before I go to sleep for today. So these kind of making an optimum utilization of resources, which will help you to sustain for the next 40 years, is something which different people will try to give you inputs, and these they are all institutes, right? It could be senior vice presidents of KPMG, it could be senior directors, or say for example the CMOs or the CFOs, right? We'll all invite everybody who at the end of the day is our alumni, because that is a leverage that we have of being in this fraternity from last 30 years. So this is what is going to happen in the pre-orientation program. We follow a term base, we do not follow semester wise. So every year it is 3 terms. Year 1 3 terms, year 2 3 terms. In between your first year and second year, you have the internship program, which generally starts from kind of May onwards, May to June, June to July. These are the 2 months when you have the internship. Now, internship is basically absolute replica of final placements what we follow in SSIM. Say for example, Nestle is coming. I'm just giving you some examples. Do not go by that only these companies come or not. Don't ask me that question probably at the end of the session. I'm just trying to give you examples from different components to create hypothetical situations. So say for example, Nestle is coming, or say for example, Deloitte is coming, or say Hyundai is coming, or Oxen Partners is coming. So what happens is, whatever their JDs are, whatever the internship profiles are, that is being circulated to the entire batch. I'll come to the programs and the specializations a little later, because once I talk about this and then I come to the programs, you'll be able to relate it, right? That's why I have kept it at the end. Now, those JDs and everything is being circulated to all the students. 2 things: students see whether you are eligible for it or not, the criteria which are given, A. B is whether you are willing to apply for that one. The moment you are willing to apply for it, then you register yourself. There will be certain deadlines within which you have to register. Once you register yourself within that, after that the shortlisting happens. That data is being sent back to the company, and then once you are shortlisted, then the process starts. You participate in the process. You keep on clearing round after round, and once the final entire process is done and you are selected as an intern in that company, then whenever the internship starts, then you join that. Now this internship interviews or this internship process generally starts from January onwards, right? Say for example, what I mean by that is, July 7th you're here, the inaugural starts. January 2026, from where most likely January 2nd, 3rd week onwards, this internship interview starts, right? The reason being SSIM, because again of the kind of legacy that we have, there are a lot of alumni who are there in every organization, you name it and we have it. So they always would like to come to SSIM, right? So they don't know the kind of students we have. They know that it is one institute in Hyderabad which has a very good mix of students coming from different regions. I'm sure you might have got this feel by now. All of you might have spoken with different seniors from different batches, and you definitely have seen this, that almost close to 60%, if not more, students across batches are from states outside AP and Telangana. So that helps us get national brands, national level of internships, right? So that's how the internship model works. You come back from the internship somewhere by August 1st week, where your second year starts. Now in this internship, I would like to highlight 2 points here. A is, we give very, very high emphasis on internship. In fact, from last 3-4 years, we have enhanced the emphasis on internship. The reason being, there are so many corporates which have turned their recruitment model into PPOs, pre-placement office. So say for example, Hindustan Unilever, right? Even Asian Paints, they came to our campus this year, when we were talking, they said, "Guys, next year we would like to follow this model." Wherein earlier they used to hire 2 or 3 interns. Now what they're doing is they are hiring almost close to 8 to 10 interns. Now what is the logic of this? Very important to understand. See, when I'm coming for, suppose I'm a recruiter, I'm coming for internship, I'm seeing X number of students. When I come for placement, I'll see this same X number of students. It will not increase, right? But it may decrease. The reason being there could be 1 or 2 students who might have left the program for any reason given, for extent. So there is no chance that the number can increase. Now let us hire a few more interns in terms of 8 to 10, and now these people gets acquainted with the company cultures, the policies. Their adaptability is very high because they worked with us for 2 months. They know us, we know them. And if we really find that few of them are definitely good enough, why to wait to recruit that same person by participating in the final placement process, right? With finger crossed, when I'm coming in day 2, that person may have been placed in day 1 or day 0. Why do I want to take that particular chance? Let me put a PPO, pre-placement offer, to that guy with a lucrative package which makes that person think thrice or twice that, see, I got an HUL offer which is close to around 9.5 or probably 10.7. Now if Nestle is coming, it will give me 12 or probably 13. There's a difference of 2-3 lakhs, but then it's all the same. Nestle, HUL, it's all the same. And see, my next 1 year is going to be sound. I'll have a sound slip. I'm placed. I only have to complete the program with a good CGPA. And then in the month of March or April, after completion of program, I have to go and join. And I already know these people. I'm ready to deliver from day 1. Right. And one more part, take it from me in writing. Suppose one student out of you have got into HUL as a PPO, right? And I as a student, I've got into HUL in the final placements. We both have worked in HUL for 5 years, and then we have both have applied to Conagra or Parley, right? When the Parley people see these 2 CVs, and they try to differentiate, they see this one differentiator. This guy has done an internship, and based on his internship, the person got a PPO, which is a matter of pride, and which shows that even before 1 year, internship is happening in the first year, after just first year. Placements is happening in the second year. So this guy was a much more matured individual in that 1 year. That is the reason HUL gave him a PPO. Am I clear to all of you? Am I making sense? Are you able to understand what I'm trying to say? Give me a quick response. Right. So that is the reason we as old schools, we have started giving very, very high emphasis on internship. A. B. We have stopped allowing self-generated internship if we feel that is not going to add value to your profile. What I mean by that is, I am coming from, say, Indore, or I am coming from Vijayawada, or I am coming from Patna. My uncle works with Union Bank of India there. I tell the institute that I want to opt out from the internship process. I want to work in Union Bank of India in that respective branch. And I take a letter from the institute, submit it to that branch, and I do my internship. These are kind of internships which do not take me otherwise, but we are not allowing that. The reason being, there could be people, exceptions, who will definitely do that project in a very, very defined, structured and meticulous way. But trust me, our observation and experience is 98-99% people will not do that in that rigorous way, because the pressure from Union Bank is not there, right? That performance matrix is not happening, right? So that is the reason you are in a very comfortable zone, going back to your hometown, doing a project where you already have some known people. They give you some data, you sit back, do certain work, and then submit your report. And from day 1, you are in a comfort zone that you will by default or definitely going to get the certificate, right? There is nowhere a fear factor that if I do not perform, I may not get the certificate. Now, based on such kind of a project, when you're sitting in the final placement process, and where D. Shaw or Thomson Reuters, or say for example, I forgot this name, what was that investment banking came where Soumya and all got, I'm not able to recollect that name anyway, right? Any such company XYZ, when they are trying to understand about your internship, what did you do, or what kind of value did you add to the company, or what were your takeaways and your learnings out of that project, you are clueless because you have not done it in the way you're supposed to do. That's the reason we have stopped allowing that. Now, coming back in the second year, I'll again, as I said to you, the electives and all, how to choose it, how to map it, I'll talk about it. Now, when you come back to your second year, somewhere around August, your final placement process starts from September onwards, kind of mid of September. Now, a very unique thing of SSIM placement process, there are few schools in India which follow this. And I'll tell you why. What is the reason why they follow this policy, and because of what they're able to follow. Actually, that's more important. In Telangana, I'm not sure. There are a lot of good schools, but I'm not very sure. You need to check it, do a research. How many schools have this policy? We have a dual offer system in placements. What I mean by that is, say on day 0 or day 1, X company has come, and X company is giving you, say for example, 9%. Now, you applied for that company, you are eligible, you applied for it, you were shortlisted, you attended all the process, and finally you got selected. Idealistic situation wise, the moment you are selected and you're offered, you're out of placements because you're a place student. Now, say for example, after 4 or 5 days, company Y comes, whereas there is a difference of CTC almost close to 3 to 4 lakhs, right? Generally in schools you're not allowed because you're already a placed. In schools does not want you to play, same student want them to get placed twice because they have to place every student. Now here what we do is, the moment there is a difference of CTC around 2 to 3 lakhs, we make you open, right? If you're eligible, you're willing to sit for that profile, right? We make you open. Now, if you again sit for that second company, right? After that, attend the entire process, and then suppose you're through in that. Now, it depends whether you want to go with that Y company or you want to stay back with your previous company, right? So, any such offer, and it is only done once, right? So, that's something which we follow. Now, this as a protocol, you can always say that means, if the first company always has an option of losing out candidates, yes, it has. And we communicate this well in advance to all the companies which are coming on campus. Okay, this is a rule which we follow. So for this, what happens, every such company, I'm sure you'll agree with me on this point, put me a heads up if you agree. All these companies will try to have a benchmark CTC because they know if I fall below this or give below this, there could be options which the student will have tomorrow and they may move out. That is A. And B is, say a student, for example, whom the institute knows is placeable at 14 lakhs or 16 lakhs. You're actually my trump card. Why will I even allow you to get placed at 10 lakhs? Think from that perspective, that dimension. For any other institute, it is, I had to place you, I have placed you, I'm done. But this league of schools, right, their thought process is, I could have placed him or her at 14 lakhs. Why did I lose that opportunity and allowed that guy to get placed at 9 lakhs? Right. Now, the second point which I wanted to make is, how could we take such kind of a decision? The reason being, there is no dearth of companies coming to campus. If you have just 30, 40, 50 companies coming to campus, as an institute, you can never take up this kind of an option. Because then at the outset, it is difficult for you to place the entire mass of students. How can you talk about one student getting 2 offers, right? That's not possible. And that is not going to happen once. It is going to happen multiple times, right? For multiple students. But when you have more than 140 companies coming to campus, close to 153, right, you can always do this once there is no dearth of companies. So this is one thing which you have to bear in mind, which helps a student. I have seen it helps a lot of students, and more than students, of course it helps students, but I'll say the institute has a bigger stake in it, right? The institute knows that these are my good students, they should be placed at this league, and they will always try to do. So that's about the placement process I wanted to highlight, because that's more important. Kind of other things, I'm sure you have done adequate research even before you applied to us. The kind of companies which come, the kind of profiles which we offer, I'm sure you have done those kind of research. So this session I'm not getting into in depth of that, because it's not only on placements. I had to cover a few other things as well. Now moving ahead, I'll go back to the programs. Let me see what all they actually have. One second. Okay, so internship I have covered, placements, program commencement, joining formalities, orientation, pre-orientation. Okay, so I'm only left with now programs offered, loan process, and hostel. Right. Okay. After that, I'll take up any such questions which are there. In SSIM, we have got 3 programs. Now listen to me, and any one of you present here, if you're not able to move along with me, you have all the liberty to stop me. Just raise your hand or probably put it in the chat. I'll immediately stop, right, clarify that, and then move. Now, in SSIM, we have basically got 3 programs. Now, when I talk about this, the first thing which is very important to understand at a postgraduate level is approvals and accreditation of these programs. Very, very important. I was also told by the admission department, they said to me that there are few students who have written and who wanted to ask from it. I don't know whether the same students are here. I even don't know who has asked. So I'll just like to clarify that entire thing. See, for a postgraduate institute, when you want to start off, you need an approval which is called AICT, All India Council for Technical Education. That's a statutory body which is under Ministry of Human Resource Development, Ministry of HRD, Government of India. Now this AICT gives approval to an institute, right? And this approval is based on certain components which are the basic requirements in terms of you should have a library, this many books, this many faculty, right now, this many classrooms, per classroom 16, and so on and so forth. It's basically infrastructural part or certain kind of hardcore as well as softwares. But it doesn't talk about standards, processes and all. Now what happened from there on, there are 2 more bodies, again statutory bodies, very, very structured and highly formulated bodies, which is NBA, National Board of Accreditation, and AIU, Association of Indian Universities. These 2 bodies have come up which talks about processes and standards. Now why am I saying this in detail is, when the department told me, I felt that at your level, when you are coming for post-graduation program, you should have a deep understanding of this right now for your knowledge and information. Just not as an information, do you have AIU? Yes, I have it. I went and checked inside, yes, SSIM is having AIU, my job is done. And you tell people, no, I have checked, I am studying in an AIU. What is AIU? What is that what is going to benefit you? That is something which you should know tomorrow. So that after a couple of months, if somebody asks you, you should be able to guide that person. That's where I thought of telling you. Now, they talk about processes. Input, process, output. See, for example, any student joining today, at what all level the student is in terms of quantification. We say, he speaks good, or he's a good student. That's a qualitative aspect. There is no place of this qualitative statement. It has to be quantified. If I'm talking that this person's communication is good, what do I mean by that? Am I talking of the vocabulary? Am I talking of the voice modulation? Am I talking about the pitch? I'm talking about the spontaneity. Am I talking about the sentence construction? What all components under communication I'm talking? Am I talking about verbal communication? Am I talking about non-verbal communication? Am I talking about written communication? What is that I am mentioning? And every such, whatever I said, these are fields or domains or verticals under communication. Every such communication has again 4 to 5 subpoints or parameters. On those parameters, there is a very raw judgment on during the time when a person comes. What is the support mechanism which is required for that? what is that particular way it is going to happen as a process. CES, continuous evaluation system. Is there any deviation? If there is any deviation, how it is brought back, and then when the person is moving out, where is that person correct? This is what about input process is. And it is, I just give you an example of communication and everything. It is related to every such component domain. The list goes on. Right now, when you are very sure about, as an institute, that you are in this track and you're doing things as per the standards, then you on your own have to apply to these bodies that I feel we are doing good, why don't you come and evaluate us? That's what is called as SAR, self-assessment report. When you assess yourself and you submit that report to them, okay, this is what is our of our own assessment. If they are good with this SAR report, they feel yes, then they'll write to you that we will come for a peer team review or a peer team visit, and we'll try to validate what all information you have given. We would like to see that. Post that is something which you get an accreditation, right? That NB accreditation. The moment you are getting an NBA accreditation, mark my words here, NBA accreditation is not for the institute, it is for programs. So as an institute, I may have 5 programs, doesn't mean that all my programs are for NBA accredited. Unlike in SSIM where all the programs are NBA accredited, I'm just trying to give you a situation about it. The moment I have an NBA accreditation for that respective program, I am eligible to apply to AIU, Association of Indian Universities, for AIU affiliation. That is accreditation, this is affiliation, and AICT is approval. The moment I am AIU affiliated, the PGDM program becomes equivalent to MBA program. Now, one more very interesting component of this is, say for example, you are joining an institute in 2025. Anyway, all of you will be joining any institute now here, SSIM. So it's 2025. Say for example, as of now the institute doesn't have AIU. The question comes tomorrow, if 26 it is, or 27 it is, whether your batch will be AIU approved. That is something which you also need to cross-verify. Correct? Because these are not given for once forever. These accreditation processes are given for 2 years or 3 years, and there is always a re-accreditation process to evaluate the basis on which you got the accreditation. Is there any betterment or not? Then only the re-accreditation process. Okay. So it's not like once I get it and I live it with forever. It's not. So this is something which you need to understand in terms of the AIU approval, which I said it is all the programs should be AIU approved, or it is program wise rather. Now, and whether in your year that approval is there, that's very important to know. Now you have to understand what is your benefit of. So down the line, you're working for 14 years, 17 years, 20 years, and one fine day with a cup of coffee, you suddenly feel, why don't I come back to academics, start teaching? I have now almost 2-3 decades of experience. There is huge opportunity which as industry practitioner where I can go and guide students, mentor students and all. And then you like to get yourself associated with tier 1 premier business schools of the country or maybe abroad. As an industry practitioner, you have almost 80% done. Your doors are open, but the 20% in terms of the eligibility or the protocol, you should have a PhD, or you have completed your FPM, which is Fellow Program in Management, or the doctoral program. Now, whether it is in India or abroad, once you have your PGDM, AIU approved PGDM, the doors are open, nobody stops you for that. But if not, then there are certain hinges which comes up, right? So that's where the AIU comes in, and I hope I have given you the answer that in SSIM, all these programs are NB accredited and AIU approved. And we also have, on top of that, SACs. There are, if I'm not wrong, you can check. There would be around 34 or 35 institutes across India. I mean, the list will not be above 50. I'm very sure about that. Which are SACs accredited. It's again talks about processes, standards, and all. So once you have SACs, also one more option by default, if you have SACs accreditation, by default all your programs become AIU affiliated. Right? That's one more advantage. Right? So we have the SACs accreditation as well in place. So again, by virtue of that, once more all the programs are AIU affiliated. So I hope I could give you this accreditation and affiliation part of the programs for which you are coming. Now we have 3 programs. One is the PGDM program, which we generally as students call it as PGDM Core or PGDM General. Here SSIM we call it as PGDM Triple Specialization. I'll come to that. The second program which we offer is PGDM BIFS, and the third is PGDM Business Analytics. So in short, I'll just tell you what is that program all about, so that you have a fair idea. And then quickly we'll 1-2 lines the loan process and we'll wrap it up. Saturday evening we should not drag it further. It's already 8:50. Now, PGDM Triple Specialization is a program wherein the first year is absolutely common for each one of us. Say for example here, who all are here, we all are part of PGDM TPS program. Now our first year is common irrespective of the specialization we intend to take in our second year. Right? So, and in term 1, term 2, we are exposed to all the different functions of management, which could be your, say, marketing management, financial accounting, human organizational behavior, statistics, economics, so on and so forth in term 1 and term 2, right? Operational research. So we are exposed to different functions of the management. From term 3, we need to choose our specializations. Now, in TPS, Anil sir, are they allowed to unmute themselves? Can you check whether you are able to unmute any one of you? I would like to hear voluntarily from any one of you present here in terms of okay, just a minute. Anybody who can you raise hand who wants to explain what is this triple specialization program? Just raise your hand. I will allow them to talk. Just raise your hand. Anybody voluntarily. I want to hear from you, and the crowd wants to hear, okay, what is TPS program? Just raise your hand. I'll allow you. Or you can put me in chat if any one of you are interested. Just let me know in chat. I'll allow you. Okay. No one is responding in chat now. No, that's, I understand that it's not allowed, but if I will do that. I will allow you to talk. Just put in the chat that you want to tell. Any one of you? Just tell me yes in the chat. I will allow you. Yeah. Okay, no worries. Oh, Jayashree, I was trying to understand if you can help us in explaining what is the TPS program, how to choose specializations and all. If you're fine, just write to me yes, I will allow you. Okay, right. I'll allow you, Jayashree. Wait. Jayashree, I have allowed you. Just check whether you are able to speak or not.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are, Jayashree. Just in nutshell, just try to tell us what is this program, how do we choose the specializations?
Sorry. Could you come again? Actually, your voice just broke.
I mean, about the TPS, the triple specialization program, how do we choose the specialization? What is the alignment? If you can just tell about it.
So I do not have any in-depth answer about it.
Okay.
But from what I know, what I was told also by the counselor, that the triple specialization, they told us, as you said, that we can choose it from the third term. Mm-hmm. But I think that I feel like, so I myself have work experience. Okay, I'm not a fresher. Okay. So I graduated in 2023, and then post that I started working as an HR.
Okay.
And after working into HR and then deciding in which B school to get and everything, so I thought of switching my field right now because
I will explain all of you here very quickly what is this, and I'm sure you'll get that. Right.
Yeah,
In case you are not with me, I already said to you, please stop me at liberty. Right. Okay. So you can mute yourself, Jayashree. Right. Thank you. Okay. So now we are in the term 3. We have to choose our specializations. Now in this specialization, we have to choose one major, one minor, and one sectoral. That is the concept of triple specialization. One major, one minor, and a sector. Now, in major and minor, the options which are available are basically the management principles of the business functions. Say, for example, marketing, finance, human resource, operations, analytics, information technology, human resource management. These are the broader management functions which are available in either major or minor. You have to choose one major and one minor. Now, to major in an area, you have to take 5 elective subjects from that area. To do a minor in one particular area, you have to take 3 subjects from it. And to do a sectoral in one particular domain or vertical, you have to take 2 subjects. So all total, it is kind of your 10 elective subjects which you have to choose, all from your major, minor, and sectoral. Major 5, minor 3, and sectoral 2. Now, say for example, I want to choose, say both, just giving an example, both Jayashree and me, we want to take finances major. Just an example, say like. Now, finance as a function is giving me a bouquet of electives, almost close to 7-8 subjects. I had to choose 5. Even Jayashree has to choose 5. Now, then we try to understand what is our objective of taking finance. Both of us want to take finance, but our objectives are different. Say, for example, I want to go into financial consulting. Say, Jayashree wants to go into corporate finance. Say, I see one more name, Urvashi, Thanopriya. Any one of them wants to go into, say, for example, financial research. Right. So maybe certain subjects could be common out of these 5, what we are choosing, and there could be one or a couple subset which could be different as well. But on a broader scale, we are from the platter of finance, but major, our subjects of 5, there could be a subset which is common, there could be 1 or 2 subjects which is different. Right. We have chosen that based on the kind of verticals or domains of finance that we like to or intend to go. Now, can you just mute yourself, all of you? If there is any noise coming, then it's difficult. Now, when I have to choose my minor. Now, how do I do that? This minor is basically the supporting subjects which were to these primary papers which I have taken. Now, given an example, I want to get into financial research. I need to be good in numbers. I should have an adequate understanding of usage of statistical tools. So I might have taken business analytics as my minor. Say, Jayashree wanted to go into corporate finance. She wanted to work with companies like Hyundai, ITC, Tata Steel, which is not a financial company by nature, but she wanted to be a part of the corporate finance team. Right. Say, for example, particularly in manufacturing and all, she needs to have an understanding of legal laws, implications, rules, regulations, industry laws and all. She might have taken HR as her minor. Correct. So now you are able to understand the concept of major, the concept of minor, and how you choose that. Right. Now comes the sectoral domain, which is again a very interesting thing. Now I'll come to your placement and related. Okay, what is the role of this sector? Say, for example, say Jayashree or me, we have taken finance as major. Say, for example, I have taken analytics as minor. And say, for example, I have taken retail as sectoral. Initially, see, it is looking very weird. You'll ask me, what is this? What you're trying to take? Where you want to go? Finance major, analytics minor, and your sectoral is retail. Now see, I'll give you certain names of companies. Say, for example, Newster is coming. Say, Auction Partner is coming. KPMG is coming. Say, for example, Accenture is coming. Say, for example, IC Data Services, Xcube Labs, Dalupa NC. Say, ADP is coming. Say, Myntra is coming. Amazon is coming. Hyundai is coming. Now, if you have noticed that names which I have been taking, they all represent different industries. Absolutely different industries. Now, all of them are coming to SSIM in the year 2027 to hire finance grads. Now, say for example, I have major in finance. Jayashree is also finance major. Even Urvashi or Thanupriya is also finance major. So all three of us are open to sit for that. All these companies. Now, when Oxen Partners is coming, they are saying we want finance grads, major finance. So first basket, we three are open. Now say second, Accenture has come. Accenture is saying this role is more on numbers or something. We need to have the person needs to have a very clear understanding of certain statistical tools and all. So we'd like to prefer people who have finance major with either operations minor or analytics minor. Now I having analytics minor, I am open for that basket as well. Right? Are you able to understand? Just keep on giving me yes or something like that. So I am now into the second basket as well. Now I see, as I said to you, Xcube Labs, IC Data Services, they are coming, right? So they want a data scientist, a business analyst kind of role. They are saying, see, we would like to see people who have either major analytics or minor analytics. They feel there could be certain good people in minor analytics. I don't want to miss out. Now I having minor analytics, that third basket is also open for me. Okay. Now, but I gave you an example of Amazon or Myntra. While talking to me in the final round, they understood or they realized that this guy is having a handful of information about retail as an industry, the rules, regulations, norms, certain articulations, right? Now, why are they here? They are here to hire a finance grad from SSIM. Who are they? They are an e-commerce company operating in the retail industry, right? They are taking me for what? They are taking me for finance. Analytics minor is there so that I have an understanding of e-commerce operations, certain things and all. And then on top of that, they're getting from me as a person that I know certain rules and regulations of retail. Don't you feel that they anyway have to train me after onboarding me? Yes or no? One. Don't you feel that anyway they have to train me? Because I being heading that finance or into that finance vertical, I need to have an understanding of financial rules and implications which are operating in the retail industry. Now what they are getting, 70% ready-made they are getting me, which I have an awareness of it because of my sectoral being retail. So what is now happening is your sectoral enhances your probability of getting into certain domains or verticals, major and minor, keeps you open across the industry. Are you clear about the TPS program now? In a nutshell, I tried to give you. Yes, no, quick response. We have to complete the balance 2 programs. I thought of Thanupriya, to be honest, I'm still a bit confused. Thanupriya, we'll take it a little later, right? Okay. Now, so Anirudh raised. We'll just wait for this, little later. Let us complete in the flow, all right? And then we'll take it up for all of you. I promise. BIFS program. The name suggests banking, insurance, and financial services, but trust me, we feel that we'll only be placed in those categories, or those are the kind of people who will come and hire me. No, it's not like that. It's absolutely wrong, right? As I said to you, say for example, your Parley can also come and hire from BIFS for the corporate finance division, right? See, Tech Mahindra can also come and hire you. See, for example, Axis Bank can hire you for a risk management profile. It can also hire you for a profile like, say for example, treasury management. There could be profiles for venture capital. It's basically a very niche program. That's why you only offer 60 seats. Now, you may ask me a question, okay, what is the difference between this program and if I take PGDM major finance? See, the only difference is, I'll tell you, many of the students, if you see, they are not always in a position to decide the specialization as of now, which is correct, very natural. Don't think there is anything unnatural offered in Sagar. Just hold back this question with you and remind me at the end. I'll answer your question. Okay, na? So They have not yet decided. That's very fine, very normal scenario. But they say somebody, giving my example, I might have pre-decided that I want to study finance. That's my passion, right? So I enroll in that particular program, wherein 70% of the program is catered to finance and 30% is on other business functions. I am still allowed to choose one minor sectoral in BIFS, but by default my major is pre-decided, which is finance. I do not have an option to decide my major. I'm giving you a literal meaning, literature wise, right? So I still have an option to choose my minor, but I don't have an option to choose my major. It's by default finance. And this particular program takes you to little core finance profiles. And subjects like, say, in your term 5, I don't know how many of you have heard about this subject, actuarial science, right? Such kind of subjects are taught to you in your term 5. So probably not more in detail. We can have other discussions. You can always connect me later on to have a detailed understanding of this program. I'm ready to do that, or any all our professors are there. Every one of us, we will help you out to have deep understanding, so that you try to finalize your program before you're joining in. PGDM BA Business Analytics. See, as on date, you'll have 6,000 plus AICT approved colleges. Every college gives you a specialization in data science or analytics, but that's mind my works, that is specialization in normal PGDM program. This is a program, again 60 seats, where we are talking about program PGDM BA Business Analytics, where again, like BIFS, 70% of the program is on data science and analytics. 30% of the program. Ridhi, hold on to this question. I'll answer this. Just keep these questions. I may miss out on the chat because I'm not always keeping an eye on the chat. Now, say for example, 70% of the program caters to data science or analytics. 30% of the program you are exposed to different other business functions. And in this program also, you are allowed to choose 2 minors. There is no sectoral here. 2 minors you are allowed to choose. Now, what is this? See, your data science or analytics is basically not a business function. It is an integrated elective. What I mean by that is, just answer this question. Do you think that you can work on any data which has got no correlation with either finance or marketing or operations or human resource management or information technology? Can you work on any data which does not have any correlation of all these 5 fields? Yes, no, quick response. Very quick. Rapid fire question. Can you work on any data which does not have a correlation with either marketing or finance or operations or human resource management or information technology? No. Right. So that means in this data science or analytics is an integrated elective wherein you have to have an exposure of certain other management functions or business disciplines as well. That is the reason you are allowed to choose 2 minors in this particular program. One more word I wanted to say, you do not think that this is a technical program and you will become a coder after this. Please mark my words. There would be several people who will tell you that you are going to get into a technical role after doing PGDM Business Analytics. Please, no. It is again a postgraduate management program where you will be entering into strategic or decision-making roles pertaining to data science or analytics, so that you have an understanding of coding or understanding of certain languages like Python or R. Your role is, I'll give you an example. Say for example, you're working with Uber, or you're working with, say for example, Zomato, or say you're working with examples, say for, and we'll take up these 2 examples, Uber, Zomato, or Netflix. So, see for example, you're a data guy. You suddenly have noticed that in Hyderabad, around in this financial district, Gachibowli, high-tech city and this area, quite close to around 10 kilometers, on Friday evening or probably Saturday evening around 9:30, 10 o'clock, there's a huge order which is coming up for Maggie. People want to purchase. That's something which you have analyzed. And then you're suggesting the product team, right? Okay, this is something which is a pattern which has I've been observing from last few hours, few weeks. Why don't we do one thing? Why don't we send a notification, right? And then you found out, okay, where are these people when they are idle? They are in between certain games or certain web series, right? Or certain other things. Why don't I push the notification there? Okay, the order is going to get closed by 9:30. Why don't you complete it? That's your role, which you're pushing to the product team, to the tech team, to the UI UX team. With all these teams, you are working very close. So you need to have an understanding of it. You are the person who is looking at the data, who is trying to get certain inference out of it and help the relevant department take an informed decision. It shows you that it is coming in 7 minutes, or you have ordered something on Myntra, it shows you that it is coming in 24 hours. The same thing I have booked sitting at Jaipur, it shows me it will take 72 hours. That is an user-friendly language which is visible to you and me. That's not the language in which it has been updated. So if you do not have an understanding of the language in which it is updated, as a product head or as a category head in Myntra, how do you decide that the same handkerchief which I am purchasing sitting in Hyderabad is going to be delivered in 28 hours, 24 hours, and the same handkerchief somebody is buying from sitting at Jaipur is going to be delivered from 72 hours? You also need to have an understanding of the operational or the supply chain of it. That is why you're exposed to these one or two minutes. I hope I could give you an understanding of it, right? The analytics program. Correct. So do not be under the impression that I am not good in maths, I'm very fearful about numbers, how do I get into this program and all. And also on the other side of the coin, just by hearing people that analytics is on broom and this becomes a buzzword, let me just dive into this program without you having any passion for numbers and you don't want to play around it. So these are kind of things which has to go in sync with each other, right? So I mostly covered this programs, bank loan, almost all the nationalized banks sanctions loans for SSIM. There are 3 set of documents which are required. A is your academic accolades. B is yours and your parents, Aadhaar, PAN, the address proof and all those kind of stuff. And third is very important, the institute where you are enrolling yourself. The offer letters, wherein you have attended all the process and then you have gone to the offer. And then once you have completed your admission process, which I feel there is an admission fees component which should be there in the fee structures. Once you have paid that and the institute gives you a fee receipt of that, that's where bank starts initiating your loan process. Okay, yes, the admission process is completed. And there is something called a loan letter. Once you request the institute, they will send you that loan letter, which is kind of a document with institute seal and signature, which says that on what basis or grounds you have been selected, whether it's a merit-based selection or not. So these are certain things which the institute helps you. Across India, we have also kept few sanctioned letters of previous year students. It comes to us through bank, so you always keep a copy of it. So at times, if you require, we push that to you as well. So that if you're talking to SBI Bank, say for example in Guntur, or you're talking to SBI Bank in Jamshedpur, you can always show them that in last 5 years or 3 years or 4 years, there are so many branches across SBI of India who have sanctioned loan for this institute. There could be a place which is a little far interior where the bank manager is not aware of and all, so he's not able to see and he's not able to trust. So you can always share those documents. However, what we have observed is because of NBA, AIU and all, it is all the nationalized bank sanctions loan. We can always have in-depth discussions on this in terms of process of loans, interest and all these things, as and when the time comes. I hope I have given a kind of understanding, trying to cover all. Hostels. So hostels is something we have boys and girls hostel on campus, of course separated. right? So we have a single occupancy, double occupancy with AC, non-AC. These variants are there. I think you can always connect with the admission department to get those options. And you need to inform the institute whether you'll avail hostel or not. Then they try to pre-book rooms and do hostel allocation, right? So I think that is something which you can take up with the department. May not be immediately, but maybe after next 15 days and all, because I'm sure in the next 15-20 days you'll start getting a lot of documents which are kind of self-explanatory. In fact, what this bank loan process, I missed one point. You have to actually log in through a portal called Vidya Lakshmi. I think some of you might have tried your hands on that also. Now I saw they are creating the institute is creating a very clear document on stepwise what you need to do after you log into Vidya Lakshmi portal, because as such there is no guidance. So they have created a manual which will share with all of you. Will upload in the drive and give the link, wherein it's very excellent document. Step 1, where to go. Step 2, which are the options coming in drop down, which one you have to choose. Self-explanatory. You keep that, log into Vidya Lakshmi portal, and your purpose will be solved. Right. So that will also be pushed to you. It's too early now. Anything else which you guys wanted me to highlight or something? I tried to give you in a nutshell, almost an hour, more than that. But we thought that though it is too early, we are in just April end, we are talking about July, but we thought that we will sensitize you on these issues, because it's very important that it's a lot of plannings are required, family plannings, people shifting here, there and all, so that you have an understanding of it. People coming from outside. What are the seats offered? Yeah, very good question. Sorry, I missed that, Sagar. For TPS, for TPS program, we have 180 seats. Now that's the overall sanction intake for the program, and I would like to make it very clear to you that in this 180 we do not have a capex of okay, this many can take finance major, or this many can take marketing major. So that can any permutation combination of major minor sectoral can happen right now. So the sanction intake is 180 for TPS, and in that any kind of combinations can happen. So there is nothing that only this many people can take HR, or this many for marketing major, or this many. It doesn't happen that. Right. I hope I have given. What about transportation? Bhavna, we have I think 4 buses. I'm not very sure, but yes, 4 buses which I'm very sure they ply across the city, and there are fixed transportation routes. I think you can take the route from all the routes from the admission department. They have those documents. You can see the stops, the timings and everything right now. So from which all locations it start and which all locations it cover, individual route wise. I think that will give you a clarity, Bhavna. Oh, sorry, the TPS 180 and BIFS, as I already said to you, BIFS is 60 seats and BA is also 60 seats. Okay. Anything else? There was one question who was... Yeah. I got Riddhi. Riddhi, are you there by any chance? She had a query that she doesn't have a work experience after graduation and joined the PGDM program. So how can I stand out apart from the person in terms of internships or placements? Okay, so this batch in SSIM, every year what we see, it's a combination of freshers and kind of your work ex grads. Now what I mean by work ex grads, they would have an experience max 20 months, not beyond that. Very rarely you'll have 24, 2 years and all, very rarely, handful of students, right? However, there will be a lot of people who will have 6, 7, 8, 9 months relevant work experience, right? So after their graduation and all, they might have just hold on to your questions in the chat. Let me answer one by one, otherwise I'll miss on the questions, right? Hold on. Okay, I'll tell you once I answer to put your question and then you put. Now see what happens is when you're going for the internship or when you're going for the placements, we might say that if you have a work experience, that may be an added advantage, right? But there is a kind of clause to it. Say for example, I have worked with TechMinder, right? But now I'm sitting, say with, for example, say ADP, with an HR profile, for an HR profile. I'll be considered as a fresher. They only will have a feel that I'm a person who knows how to adapt to working conditions, how to behave in those situations, right? So I am basically I can acquaint very easily with the corporate culture. That's a flavor which I have got in last 7 months by virtue of working in Tech Mahindra. But in terms of quantification, they may not be able to give me anything extra because my experience is absolutely in a different domain. And we have also seen freshers doing extremely well, because when I have a work experience, people's expectations out of me would also be higher. If I'm not able to justify those expectations, then it comes back to me. Wherein if I see a fresher who is doing absolutely good, I'm fine with that. So when people comes for recruitment, they do not have this kind of bias feeling that I will only take this person or that person. It's basically they'll try to understand the fitment culture, whether you as a character, as an individual, fit into the kind of profile which they are trying to offer you. And second is the kind of skill sets and the kind of knowledge which is required, whether you have it or probably you are eager to learn about it. That's what the whole objective is. I feel Bhavna had asked this question. I don't remember the name now. It has now gone in chat. I was seeing the names from there. So that's what. So in case you don't have a work experience, there's nothing you need to worry about it. It's probably you try to build your own profile, wherein we'll have a different session wherein brand you is the topic. When say for example on Saturday Sundays, you sometimes couple of us here will pick up our bike or bicycle or car, and we may travel to certain offbeat villages. We'll try to mingle with people, try to help the children in studying and all. Talk about it, write blogs, link those blogs with your Insta and LinkedIn profiles, so that when I see your profile, I also see these things. That's important. Say you probably, maybe since COVID and all has taught all of us that we have become very good cooks, a lot of us. If you're really passionate about it now, right, talk about it. If you're making certain signature dishes at home, or maybe when your friends or relatives are coming, talk about it, write some blogs about it, relate it. If you're doing some other works as part of CSR, say when as Amazon I'm coming to recruit you and I see that you have X number of followers, I also see that apart from your work, you will contribute to my CSR portfolio. Right now, so if I have to choose one out of two who stands equal in terms of communication, marks, abilities and everything, I see one difference. This guy comes with more 1,000 followers, more 5,000 followers, which will come to my CSR wing. I'll be inclined to take. So start building on your profile. Start building on your profile, which is good enough to talk about you as a character. I'm sure all of you have given this video introduction. Right. See, in the video introduction, a lot of videos I have seen as out of my curiosity, wherein I have seen a lot of videos people speak about their marks, 10th. See, those things are captured here. It is already there in the application form. That 1 minute video is basically to showcase you as a personality. Talk about something. Talk about that. That's kind of a video CV. We are trying to teach you from now on. That is why this video introduction has been introduced. Many such companies are now moving into a video CV, whereas there is no input of others in that. I directly get what you are. You have done that. You practice as many times as you want. You take as many inputs from as many number of people you want. But end of the day, you are talking. That is what I want to see. I see a refined version you have practiced. I don't mind that. But there is no direct input in a CV. It is Word format or PDF format. It could be made by some other person where you don't even know how that person has made it. Correct. So that's something to answer your question. Somebody is telling, can I travel by bus initially and then probably shift to hostel? I think these questions at a later stage we will take up. You discuss this with admissions department, and probably at a later stage we'll have sessions on this wherein we'll try to unfold such questions. Right now, Lohit, I'm sorry I'm not getting into that now because that's not need of the hour. Probably there is ample time when we will come back to us and we'll help you to take those decisions where you try to come and just see how things are happening and then probably move. And for boys hostel, we absolutely don't have a difficulty. There are ample number of rooms. Girls hostel, we have a challenge, so we try to tell people to book first. Lohit also लिखा था Vidya Lakshmi portal. Let us send you that document, Rohit. ठीक है? So once you receive that document, Lohit, that is self-explanatory. Post that, if we do a discussion or you do either with me or anybody else from the organization, it becomes a meaningful discussion. Because now if I start telling you the steps, you'll not be able to visualize it because you have not logged into the portal and you don't have that hands-on experience. So let us push you all those documents, and then we'll have multiple sessions wherein we'll take up all these things. Right. Now, Jayashree, do the companies prefer or choose students if the major of the program doesn't match with the role? For example, if my minor is HR, will they prefer some? Yes, why not, Jayashree? That's what I gave you that example. Right now, there are many times where a person says if it is an HR profile, it could be either major HR or minor HR. Right. So minor HRs will also be allowed to sit. It depends on not the institute. It depends on the company and for that profile. It more than the company, it is the profile. If the profile demands that you should be an expert of HR in terms of being majored almost 5 subjects in HR, then they will say so. If they feel that the person should have a affinity to HR and have an understanding of HR, then minor HR can also say. Right. I hope I have given you that answer. Anything? What sectoral is all about TPS? You get the brochure, you get the program brochure. It is all mentioned. What are the sectorals which are given in that? What we offer. And sectoral always does not have. Your say kind of banking, digital marketing, insurance, hospitality, tourism, so on and so forth, and the list goes on. Right. So that's how the sectoral is. I wasn't able to understand major and minor were self-explanatory, but sectoral. It's like, who is this Thanupriya? Who is this asking this question? I'm not able to see the name. Okay. See, sectoral is with the major and minor, you're trying to take one particular sector. Say, for example, hospitality, tourism, digital marketing. Suppose I've taken marketing major, analytics minor, and I've taken digital marketing as sector. Right now, wherein digital, this is a domain, right, or a vertical. Under what? Under marketing. Right. I want to get myself associated with hospitality as an industry, tourism as an industry, retail as an industry. But in what I want to get associated? I want to get associated in marketing, or I want to get associated in finance or in HR. So that's where the sectoral is. Sectorals are basically domains or verticals or industries in a broader scale that helps you to get into that respective industry. Major and minor keeps you open across industry. Sectorals helps you for certain specific industries or domains. Okay. I hope I have answered all your question. Anything? Sir, do hostelers need transportation facilities since it's on campus? It may not be necessary. No. Right. Anything else? Understood. Okay. I hope I have answered or given you certain insight. Now, give me a was this helpful to you? Did you enjoy it? Did you felt it was a right or appropriate time to do this particular, so that you get hands-on certain dilemmas, certain ambiguities? You can take always hostel facility outside. See, I don't know how many of you have seen the campus, but our campus being so old, we are not on the national highway. We are absolutely on the residential area where next buildings of the campus are all absolute very good decent PGs. So I have seen a lot of male as well as female students, juniors and seniors who also stay there. We know a couple of their parents. I know they have come there, they have checked that. People who have come from different parts, other cities, right? Say for example, Patna, West Bengal and all, those students also stay. In fact, female students also. It's just next to campus, not even 100 meters, 50 meters, walking distance. Right. But still, don't feel that day scholars means we will say, no, you have to leave the campus by 4 or 5. It's nothing like that. You can still use the library facilities, stay back in the campus and go around 7:38, 8. These are not restrictions that we do in terms of the offerings of the campus. Somebody is asking me, Geeta, if I'm not wrong, regarding the placement report. Geeta, I think the placement report is uploaded and in the web, or you can just ask admission department. They'll send you the links. They'll send you the links where all placement reports are there. You'll be able to see student-wise placement. I don't have the link ready reference. Otherwise I would have put it in the chat. Right, students-wise, say I'm so and so from so and so city. Right, where did I get placed? That is there. See, the reason why we have given the picture of the student as well as the city and all, so that you can connect with that student. Try to understand about the place where you are coming in. Very, very important. See, most of the in today's institute try to hide information from an incoming student. There's nothing to hide. It's very transparent. So we are giving you that data so that you can always talk to them and try to understand things which will help you. Right? So can we now call it a day? Admin department contact. This is regarding what? Pradosh, placement report, yes, latest one. It's ongoing placements. Almost 93% of the batch is placed. I feel only 20 or 22, 23 candidates who are currently yet to get the offers, or the letters have not come, or the results are awaited. That is what is pending. Rest everybody is placed. People have started working. They have enjoyed 2-3 months of salary. I know people who are calling us for treat. They have already eaten 2-3 months of salary. Yes, hands-on projects, these are all live projects. I did not get into that because that needs an elaborate discussion. Probably some other day we can see the convenience of all of you, and we can do that. In terms of the MCDs, the management competency development modules which we offer, which you might have seen in the brochure, which are the value-added programs. And it's a thematic approach, how it has been scheduled in every term along with your academic subjects. Say, for example, your experiential learning, book review session. This will all take a little time right now. Then it will go up 2 hours. Right? Anyway, now see, it's almost close to 1.5 hours. So, but we will love to discuss that. You'll get a lot of insights. Then industry fact presentation, company fact presentation. These are all under MCD modules, right? Which is communication module, negotiation module, presentations modules. So it's you do not get a choice to choose these papers, and these are not add-on programs where you need to pay. These are kind of all certification programs which are embedded and incorporated in the program. For transport and hostels, you connect with admission departments. They will only give you all this data. The entire administration and the hostel department, for this time, they have given all these sets of data with the admission department. You just talk to them, they'll be able to feed you with whatever you want to consume. They'll give you. Right, so if everything is done, then we'll call it a day. We'll wrap this session up. Would you like to write in the chat, okay, whether this was helpful for you? And how was it? Some remarks for me as takeaways. Thank you so much. Thank you. Really, we don't want to wait for. Now I feel that July 7th is long waiting period, right? So we should meet frequently, isn't it so? I'll talk to Dr. Subhash and the other respective faculty in terms of at least weekly once and once in a fortnight, if we can have certain sessions, because now that you have understood the thing, probably Excel, brand new sessions, right? Now all these kind of things we'll start with. Right, once again, welcome all of you to the family of SSIM. Look forward to meet all of you on either 5th or 6th of July, and wish you all the best. Good luck. People who are in your graduation and the exams are yet to happen, please do focus on that. That's very important. And start your preparation. I'm sure different at your homes things are in full swing, so start that. Look forward to meet all of you physically on campus. Right, good night, stay safe, have a happy weekend. Thank you very much. Bye bye, take care. Anil sir, thank you so much for coordinating with us for this session. Thanks to all the other people and the departments who have kind of helped us to get this session done. Thank you so much, Anil sir. Bye bye. Take care. Good night. Yeah, good night.